I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Blackstock excused. Blair.
Here.
Horn. Here. Pat Salas.
Here.
Oda.
Here.
Town. Here. Simons.
Here. Kathy, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next up is the approval of the agenda that is presented. If anybody has any additions or deletions to the agenda. If not, a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Nobody's got any objections or anything, I'll make a motion that we accept it as presented.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to the approval of the minutes of May 1, 2017, regular meeting, and May 8th, 2017, special meeting.
If there are no additions or deletions, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from May 1st, 2017 regular meeting and May 8th, 2017 special meeting.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we accept the minutes of the meetings of May 1 and May 8th. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have public comment. Anybody in the audience that would like to speak about anything that's not on the agenda? And we have no one in the audience. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have the C1 is the April 2017 Building Department report. We have C2 is the April 6th, 2017 Beautification Committee minutes. We have the C3 is the April 2017 Marine City Fire report. We have the C4 is the May 3rd, 2017 Historical Commission minutes. We have C5 is the 2016 Investment Income Report. We have the C6 is the April 2017 Investment Income Report. We have the C7, which is the April 2017 St. Clair Fire Report. And we have the C8 is the Tri-Hospital EMS Report. And C9 is the April 2017 Revenue and Expenditure Report. So all that, we should have some questions. No questions on any of that? I put that in there on that Tri-Hospital. They sent that to me, and that, just a little bit about what they do and what.
How's that water authority? All in its own,
Yes.
we're lucky there.
So if there's no questions on the consent agenda, a motion to accept would be in order.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Been moved and supported that we accept the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have disbursements. We have invoices of $104,091.75. We have accounts payable of $36,795.46. We have a payroll of $13,288.24. We have a payroll direct deposit of $11,132.68. We have EFTs of $9,749.78 for a total disbursement of $175,057.91.
I'll make a motion we pay the bills in the amount of $175,057.91.
I'll support.
All right, it's been moved and supported that we pay the bills in the sum of $175,057.91. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Blair,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Pat Sallis.
Yes.
ODOT,
Yes.
Town, yes. Simons.
Yes, motion carries. Next, we have new business, item 1, bids for the Bryson Lane survey. We got quite a few bids on this. Let Mr., well, I can open the first one.
I thought you'd read them.
Okay, I'll read them, you write them down. This one is from Rowe Professional Services,
And this is just for the engineering, correct?
just for the survey and the typographical survey. Two different surveys.
Okay.
A typographical is the elevations,
Yep.
so we can see how deep to dig the ditches. But before we can bid this out, we're gonna need that typographical survey.
Right.
In order to bid it out to a contractor, they're gonna have to know how deep to dig it. We're
Okay.
still gonna have to have engineering if we decide to
So
go
it's for
along.
the two surveys then?
Right, these are two surveys. I tried to tell them to break it down into Bryson Lane, Woodland Lane, and Lavely Lane. All right, this one is from Rowe Professional Services. They're saying Bryson Lane would be 7,000, Woodland would be 5,000, and Lavely would be 4,800. If we combined them all, they would do the whole job for $10,900.
What was the Lavely?
4,800.
And combine the three?
Combine the three for 10,900. Do we need Woodland and Lavely? I don't know. I mean, there's 3 houses on Lavely.
I don't believe we would need
I don't-
them. I think Bryson Lane is.
Bryson is our, but I thought, well, maybe we should just see what it is, you know?
It's up to you.
Well, I mean, we have no record of a survey ever done on that, on Bryson Lane.
Well, they're gonna do one till people raise all kinds of hell down there.
Yeah.
I don't think
What
we
was
have any
Bryson?
on all 3 of them.
Bryson was $7,000. There's gonna be quite a few of them down to write down. Okay, that's Rowe. Next, we have BMJ. Probably the last page where I had to find the. Well, here's BMJ. Proposal to complete the above outlined survey services for a fixed fee. Bryson Lane, 5,900. Woodland Lane, 3,800. And Lavely Lane, 3,000.
Their combined price?
I don't see that. I don't see that. They just broke them down into the 3.
Just pile them up. I'm gonna put them in with mine. Yeah.
All right.
That's quite a difference.
This one here is Anderson, Erickson, and Westrick. Hope I read that right. This one here says a typographical survey of Bryson Lane, 4625. Topographical for Woodland, 3450. And typographical for Lavely Lane, 2,900. Boundary survey to be determined the right-of-way in Supervisor Allen V. Ellis plot, $3,400. So I guess you'd have to add those all together.
Yeah, he's giving you the topographical too, those. I mean, that's,
Well,
So
the other
what-
ones was included, I believe.
they were just, weren't they just the Woodland Lane, the Bryson Lane boundaries, the first ones? Nothing said about the topographical on the first ones.
What's it? It said boundary survey supervisor. $3,400 on Anderson.
I mean, there's a lot of reading in here. I mean, we didn't have to open these here. I mean, I could have probably went through, they were all sealed up, so I thought I should open them here, but
Yeah.
it's gonna take a lot of, I mean, we can go through and open them and then write down what we got, and then we go through and adjust them, make sure that they're all covering.
Well, it sounds like the last one, that Anderson, Erickson, and Lester, they gave you the survey of the boundary of the road and the topographical of the
Well,
whole
they're giving
thing.
us, the typographical for all three is, each one, but to do all the survey, and they want $3,400.
That's for the boundary.
You have to read the
Yeah.
detail and find out their definition.
Is that the boundary on all three of them?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And the topographic, you said was 3,400?
They broke the topographical down in all three. Typographical for Bryson was 4,600. For Woodland was 3,450. And Lavely was 2,900. Take that back. For Bryson was 4,625.
Right.
And what was that $3,400 figure then? What was that?
That's to do all the boundary surveys, which would be to tell us where the road is. This one is, I have no idea. This is another copy of that row one, same thing. Why did we end up with two copies of that?
They
We
emailed,
got two envelopes.
Yeah.
Let's
One-
open it up, let's see what it reads.
It's 6,350 on them too.
maybe one was mailed, and, well, the one I brought you was.
Yeah, I don't know how you got the one, but
or
this one is
faxed.
just a letter of telling about this guy.
Letter of introduction.
Yeah, for this Justin somebody.
Ryan,
Letter of introduction.
Yeah. Well, we got the bid from him right there. That was the first one we opened, real. I'll put them together. This is a whole different letter. All right, then we got PCE. Color pictures. All right, this is PCE agreement, for provision of level of professional services. Right-of-way survey and typographical survey of general sites featured. This would be for all of them, Bryson Lane, Woodland Lane, Lavely Lane, $10,975. And it shows a little map about what, we want done. But, like I say, I wish you would have broke that out a little bit. I don't know why you didn't, I told you to. So that was PCE.
We don't give you topographical ones.
Well,
No,
that one
is a
combined the two.
typographical.
They combined the
They
both.
combined it all together. This is Wade Trim. It's all the same copies, I guess.
Watch them come in.
Must be a copy for everybody. Everybody wants, if you want a copy, I'll give you one. They'll do the survey for Bryson Lane for $3,850. That's the survey and the typographical.
Both?
Yeah, Bryson Lane, a curvature would be attached to typographical lines to be collected, including the edges of existing graph and elevations feature. That's the Bryson, this is just Bryson Lane.
Is that topographical and the survey boundary?
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Wow.
But like I say, we're gonna have to go through these with a fine tooth comb.
Is that the only one they quoted was Bryson Lane?
Yeah, I'll let you guys, he's got copies in here for everybody, so everybody may as well take one. You guys can look at it.
Thank you.
Did you get one, John?
No, this is just Wade Trims. You got one for each of us.
Yeah, there was extra copies, so. All right, that was Wade Trim. Now we got BMJ. Did we just do BMJ? Did we do BMJ yet?
No.
No, okay. All right, this is BMJ. Survey proposal for Bryson Lane, Woodland Lane, and Lavely Lane. Some of the places there. Yeah, we just did this. We just read one just like this.
No, EMJ. There's an EMJ.
Oh, BMJ.
EMJ.
Yeah, this is just a hard copy of what they.
Prior to that, was that a BMJ instead of E?
BMB. BMJ, yes.
The one prior to
Yeah.
that was a
B, yes. So this is the same thing. I thought we had some duplicates here. This is a hard copy of binder, I don't know.
Oh, one's an email?
I
Yeah,
think
one was an email, and this was a hard copy they must have sent.
Pardon me, for Wade Trim, it said, should the township desire to also collect right-of-way and topographic survey information for Woodland and Lavely lanes, these services can be provided for an additional $38.50.
Oh, it did say that in there? No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
at the bottom of the letter.
So they're telling
Wood
us,
and Lavely together are how much?
$38.50 plus $38.50. Wait a minute,
$38.50
wait a
then?
minute, excuse me. Woodland and Lavely lanes would be
They're all
$38.50
combined.
total for the two of them.
Okay,
And then Bryson would be $38.50.
okay.
well, I personally think we're gonna have to sit down and go
Oh,
through
yes.
all this
We're gonna have to compare them.
and bring it back at the next meeting. I mean, if we wanna just break out the Bryson Lane part of it, I mean, do you feel that way, Don, that we should just do Bryson Lane?
I think Bryson would be the main one, Larry. We don't have too many buildings down there on Lavely.
3.
Yeah, and you haven't had too many complaints on Lavely, have you?
Well, there's only 3 people going in and out there, but everybody uses Bryson. The worst part of Bryson Lane is
Is that
from
the start?
Meisner to the bike trail.
Yep, the start of it.
So I would think we should,
But see, this Wade and Trim, they only give you the scope of services for Bryson Lane.
and then they gave the other one in the
I'll
bottom.
give the other one too, right here. The township also might have the right of way information for Woodlawn and Lavely Lane, it's 50/50 combined. for both.
So it'd be $7,700 total.
77
Right.
total.
That's way lower.
Way lower,
Thanks for catching it. I did read that.
way lower.
I kept saying 38, 30.
I laughed when I seen that. Because I added that one up, Angelo. This
Yeah,
one.
38.50 for Bryson,
Anderson,
and then
that's what
38.50 again for Lavely and,
Right.
Anderson, Eric, and Westry, or Lester.
Yeah.
That I added them 3 up, it comes to 20.
It's up to the board, whatever we want to do. Do we want to, you want us to go through and make a little graph to this and make it a little clearer? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing to me,
Right,
That's-
I
Yeah.
would suggest
doing that.
going back over it again and making up some sort of a chart so that even dummies can understand it.
Well, that's what I mean, make it so we can compare, we can break out just Bryson and not work.
And you might wanna- You might want to tell them that you
I'll have
need,
one of the girls do it, yeah, break it down.
Larry, you might want to tell the ones that don't have the topographical that we're going to need that anyhow.
We need that. Most all of them, I think, have it.
yeah, I would think they would have it.
They all got it in there. We just got to break it out. And if not, we can call and get an explanation. And I'll bring it back at the next meeting. So I'll make a motion that we table this until we can get it
A little better information.
And I'll
figure it out.
I'll support that motion.
Okay. We have a motion to table this until we can get some kind of structure so we can make a good sound decision here.
Spreadsheet.
Huh?
A spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet, yeah. So is there any further discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah.
We've worked with Wade Trim. Does Wade Trim have a survey
Oh, yeah,
of this already? Is that
No.
why they're coming in low?
no.
This is a whole fresh job for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't find, we have a legal description, but we don't have a survey of, we don't have any stakes in the ground to tell where. We think the road is moved.
Butter it up now.
And this could really open a big can of worms when we find out if it's moved too much or whatever. I think we gotta know.
We have to
what
know,
we got.
yeah.
Well, that one neighbor down there, I talked to him, Larry, he said it took about 10 feet in one spot.
What's that?
That one neighbor told me, he said he thinks it's about 10 feet in that one spot.
Yeah. So, we better find out, so. Anyways, we have a motion to table in a second, and there's no further discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we'll get a spreadsheet on this when we get it all done. All right, next, announcements. I don't really have any announcements. We'll move on to members' comments. Mr. Horn.
You know, we talk about these pumps for these lift stations on these sewer lines. I think in the future, we're gonna have to let the supervisor probably pick up a couple spare pumps so that we have them in case we need them in an emergency.
Well, I agree 100%, Don, but I think we gotta, if we're gonna redo these stations, we should try to put some kind of, where we have maybe one or two stations that are the same, so we could have one spare pump to replace four of them.
Well, we could get the submersibles, you know, the submersible pumps, and they'd last, even when you do you make the stations bigger.
Well, I think once we get our engineering in place, that'll be the first
But
job that we should look
I
at.
think we should have at least one spare pump right now, because we don't have any.
But they're all different.
Right. What we want to do is put them all together, right? Try to get all the pumps
Yes,
together, and that way
that's
when you have
what we want to
backups, yeah.
Like the one at Ricoh Road, we tried to get a rental. They don't even have a rental available that size, because that's an 8-inch submersible. That's a big pump. They could get us the smaller ones for some of the other stations, but like the hospital, that's a dry side pump. So,
Which ones are most likely to go out? The ones that have the most,
well, Ricoh Road is probably our best station now, but, we actually, I think I reported last time that Blaine brought in, Kennedy Pump to look at that, and they were still figuring a bid up for us. Blaine didn't want to take that other pump down because we had that
oh, yes.
2 days of rain, and, I still haven't seen the report from Blaine, or from Kennedy Pump, but when we get that, we'll make a decision. And he was gonna also get us a price on a replacement to have a spare for that station.
Well, that's
Yeah.
your main pump. That's what you should have a spare for.
Now, that pumps everything in the township to the sewer
That's
plant.
right.
So,
That one there, you should have a spare for.
well, everything south of Ricoh Road, I should say, it pumps.
Mhm.
Anything else, Don?
No, that's all I have.
Mr. Pascal?
No, I don't have anything this evening, Larry, thank you.
Mr. Boda?
Nothing, thank you.
Mrs. Blair?
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Town?
No.
Okay. I just have a couple of little things. We're doing the interviews for the DPW. He didn't get it done for this meeting. He still wants to interview a couple more. We've already authorized to hire this person. Blaine has asked if he could pick the person. He wants to do it this week, and then give the person, when he picks it, he'd like to offer him the job, because it's gonna be, you know, if we wait till our next meeting, which is 2 weeks, then the guy gives us 2 weeks' notice.
3
We won't
weeks. Our
have,
next meeting will be 3 weeks.
yeah, we won't have this guy for 4 or 5 weeks.
Right.
It still has to be approved before he hires, but he still is a probationary employee for 90 days. It's up to the board, whatever they want to do. I'm just passing on what Blaine asked me to do, to try to to speed it up.
No, I passed
Well, what
the
do you think?
supervisor when they made the decision and hired and fired.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
way it used to be a while.
That's what we're doing right now. I'm not involved in it.
Right.
It's Blaine and Dwayne Loper. They're the ones that are doing the interviewing. I am not,
We've authorized that they hire someone,
right.
as I recall. Well, then shouldn't we, that automatically authorizes them to actually hire, doesn't
Okay.
it?
I just want to make it clear that I
In my
don't want to,
thinking, he should have the
the authority.
to hire.
Is
And it
everybody
doesn't-
good with that?
Yes.
Yes.
We don't need to
Why
hire.
is Dwayne involved in it?
Because Blaine didn't want to do it by himself. He said, I
Okay, I
don't,
didn't know that, so.
no, Blaine asked me, he said, I don't want to do it by myself.
Oh.
And I said, well, I can give you Chuck and Dwayne, but Chuck's on vacation. So,
We're gonna discuss it in workshop tonight.
I don't know. So everybody's okay with that, and I won't say no more about that. We've have a big sewer leak up here on Clark Drive. It's back in the woods. We had to hire a contractor because it's too deep. Our equipment won't reach it. It's back in that swamp. You know, the sewer's behind the houses on Clark Drive on the dry
I
side.
wonder what that
And,
big equipment was.
It's
in there.
collapsed, and then we've got some water lines. I mean, we're down to 2 people. I mean, it's,
Right.
yeah, but that sewer line is deep, so we can't, even if we had a full crew, we couldn't do it because our machines won't reach that deep. So we got to get a bigger excavator, so. Just bringing you up to speed on a couple
10,
things.
11 feet back there?
Yeah, I think he said about 10 feet.
Yeah, I seen that one up there. I was wondering what it was.
I think
doing.
Telto's doing it. isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got some emergency water lines we're putting in, and, other than that, that's all I have. Does anybody else have anything to present to the board? If not, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
Make a motion to adjourn at 7, what was it, 38? No, 7:28.
That's 50-something.
53 or 52.
757.
57.
58, yeah, 7:58.
7:58.
I'll
Can't tell
support.
time anymore.
I'll
Right.
support.
Then moved and supported that we adjourn at 7:58. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.